כל השנה הלכות בכל יום אותך לא שהוא בנו אהבה בעזרת השם. The two mitzvot today. Today is the sixth month of the sixth day of the month of Av, and it's Monday, second day of the week, Parashat Vayitchanan. בעזרת השם ובילונים מצוות, two mitzvot today. Mitzvot right? Mitzvot number 517. There is a prohibition to give a prophecy in a false. To be a false prophet, and Chas v'Shalom, mitzvah number 518, there is a prohibition to prophesy in the name of Shem and Elokim Acharim. Late, I was wondering in the WhatsApp, I got a text, two texts today in Russian WhatsApp. The Muslim guy one guy in Pakistan and one guy somewhere. He says if Muhammad appeared to me in a dream. And he commanded me that we should kill all the Jews. And if what I'm saying is not true, the ceiling should fall on me. At that moment, the ceiling falls on the guy's head. It's a joke, by the way. It's not true. That's not what he's saying. You know, they're just playing. There's two instances. One instance, there was actually, in Saudi Arabia, there was a whole big, big dais, like, you know, the Bima, everybody's sitting over there. And the Arab guy is talking, and all of a sudden the Biman falls down. So they edited the same thing. If Muhammad said to kill everybody, and if he didn't say it, then the Biman should fall down. It's all fake. It's not true. I promise you, none of those two videos are true. But anyway, this is what we're talking about here. A guy is talking in B'Shem, others to tell that they saw prophecy or that Chas v'Shalom. 517, you're not allowed to be a false prophet. And 518, not to speak, God forbid, in other God's names. So, Bezrat Hashem today, the shiur is sponsored Lulu Nishmat, Victor, Yechiel Ben, Chana, father, Yitzchak. Nishmat Yitzchak Ben, Ora, וגם, אהרון בן שרה וגם, סוזן בת רחל, להבדיל בינם לחיים, לרפואה שלו בכל החיים ולכל עמו ישראל, בכללם ליוסף חיים בן מפרז, חיה בת לאה וגם רפואה שלמה. What else we said? מרוסיה בת סורי, וגם עוד לעילוי נשמת יואב איתן. ברוך השם. זאת השם, מצווה number 517, let's start. שנמנעו שלא להתנבא בשקר. We are prohibited to come out and have dreams in the middle of the night and come out and talk about the nonsense. כלומר, שלא יאמר שום אדם שנאמרו לו דברים בנבואה מהשם והשם לא אמרם חס ושלום. A person gets up and he says, you know what? Hashem spoke to me, but it never happened. וכן, בכלל עליו אפילו אם יאמר דברים שנאמרו בנבואה לזולתו ויאמר בשקר שהוא נצטוו לאומרן. What happened was that his neighbor is a big prophet, and the neighbor received the prophecy. So basically, he goes out and he says, I got the prophecy, and he says what Hashem wants to hear people to hear, but he says it b'shmo. He says that I heard it. Chas v'Shalom also that is so. Even though he's really saying the prophecy of Hashem, but it's not to him. You cannot say that. It says in Dvarim, chapter 18, pasuk 20, אך הנביא אשר יזיד לדבר דבר בשמי את אשר לא ציוויתיו לדבר. Hashem says in the Torah, I didn't command him to talk, even though he is saying in the word that his neighbor God, but I didn't command him to speak. So therefore it's a prohibition on him. Even though you know the truth, you cannot speak. וכן אמרו זיכרונם לברכה בסנהדרין. It says over there in Sanhedrin, page 89, the first side, אשר יזיד לדבר בדבר בשמי, he is falsifying. Yazid is falsifying to speak in my name. This is the person who goes and says things that he never heard. What does that mean? I did not command him. Even though I have commanded his friend to speak, but I didn't command him. This person comes out and he says what his friend revealed to him the prophecy. Meaning the friend gets a prophecy and the friend is now practicing at home how to give it over to the Am Israel, and he already heard it. So he runs now to the whole nation, oh, this is the prophecy. And this is the sign. You see the sign? Meaning HaKadosh Baruch Hu, how do we test the prophet? HaKadosh Baruch Hu is not just anybody come, okay, I'm prophet, Eliyahu Navi. Yes, doesn't work like that. What do? HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells the prophet, this is the, like Moshe Rabbeinu. He says, this is the sign, that's what you're going to do, and this is the otiyot. What was the sign? Put in the hand inside. The whole thing with Moshe Rabbeinu, everybody knows, very famous, right? So that's how we are obligated actually to check the Navi. We see the Navi if it's real or not. By him giving us a sign in order to accept the prophecy. So this, the Navi is okay, so that's what we're talking about exactly here. He came in here and he says, I'm going to make siman. What's the siman? You know what his siman is? This guy is an astronomer, and he knows when there's going to be an eclipse. So he comes to the people don't know anything. He says, you know what? I'm telling you I'm a Navi. How do you know you're a Navi? And about 35 minutes, the sun will be blocked by the moon. And it happens, eclipse happens. Ooh, wow, this guy is good. He's a prophet. Shem Rahim Alav. Tika, Shakran ze. How do we know? We don't. You ask him. The signs are that you ask him to prove nothing is natural. Things have to happen that are not natural. The sun being blocked by eclipse, it's not natural.
Maybe they don't know that's nature. You're saying maybe they don't know that's nature. They think that's supernatural.
No, I don't think so. It has to be supernatural, right? That's the rule. So good. So then they ask him again. So show us another sign. So it has to be something that's supernatural. Something that.
Moshe Rabbeinu went to Egypt after the birth. She gave the sign. Hashem gave the sign.
The snake or the stick and the hand with the tzarat. The whole thing.
Every time they prophesize, they have to give the sign.
No, once. Once they're established as a true prophet, that's it. They don't have to. Navi says there's a isur. There's a prohibition of over excessive testing.
Oh, really?
You're not allowed to. Yeah. What did you say?
Also, the Shomer Mitzvoth, obviously Shomer Shabbat.
Oh, of course,
There's been other people saying shtuyot.
Right. Today, a guy without a beard gets up and he says, "I saw something." Yeah. The beard, the most sacred thing you touch, and you could say something that Hashem spoke to you. Yeah, a guy without a beard, Hashem spoke to him. Yeah, right. All right. The beard is 13 years old. There's so many things over here. I promise you, Hashem is probably not talking to me because we're touching it.
Didn't the Leviim shave their face?
One time. It was one time. Last time that was in order to be toivel in the mikveh without any chatzitza and the whole thing over there. Yeah.
Not constantly.
No. One time. It was one time deal. Okay, that was the acquirement. That was part of the acquisition. The Shosheh mitzvah, the foundation of this mitzvah, Nadav, not a telephone. The mitzvah is here. Habibi, I love this guy. Lefi shaya b'zeh churban gadol. There was a great destruction. V'ra'a rabba b'datenu ha'mekudashet v'ashlema. It's a very bad evilness that comes from this kind of thing. A guy coming and lying in behalf of Hashem. כי עיקר האמת מבלי סייג המגיע אל בני אדם הוא על ידי הנביאים. The truth, as we already discussed yesterday, the spitz, the final element between us and becoming close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the prophecy. That was the most elevated level that a person could achieve. And this guy is taking it and he's diminishing the truth. והתורה תצוונו להאמין בהם וללכת אחר עצתם הנכונה ודתם השלם. Like in America, they say in America, the press is honest, true press. That stopped about 150 years ago. At the time of the revolution by the Civil War, there was no more true press in America. So everything, the government took over. The government took over. That's when they killed Abraham Lincoln. He was against the America is not controlled by original American foundation. America has actually been deviating from after the Civil War. America has been taken away and been controlled actually by communists. The whole idea of Karl Marx, the whole thing, little by little. There's no honesty. But what do they say? We're honest. Everybody thinks the United States press is the honest, right? But in reality, it's more worse than any Pravda newspaper would dream of to have such power. Pravda, the sheker. You know what Pravda means? Pravda in Russia means emet. But in reality it means sheker. That's how the US Russian government was. But at least they tell you Pravda. So that's a deviation. You use,
The podcasts are more reliable right now.
Yeah, the podcasts, yeah, Mr. But I'm saying the way that people deviate is they tell the people we're saying the truth, but in reality it's a false. So that's how you know the first thing right away with this. So now, same thing here. You have the most sacred level of achievement of speaking directly to Kadosh Baruch Hu, and this person comes and he deviates and he takes away the quality of the truth. ועל כן, במקום בני אל לאמור דברים שלא ציוום השם, יוציאו לעז בנבואה שהיא העיקר הגדול, אשר בינינו עם העם הקדוש. So that's why Rambam, that's why the Torah knows this. This is the biggest threat. This is the biggest threat, because that's the only way we know that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is directing us to do something. Even yesterday we said if a Navi tells us to go against the mitzvah, except for Avodah Zarah, we must do whatever he says. Even if he tells us for the next 10 Shabbatot, don't keep Shabbat. We don't keep Shabbat for the next 10 Shabbatot. A Navi was at such a level that we listen to him and we fulfill what he says. And obviously he's telling it for our own good. But over here, what happens is this Rasha, this person who went ahead and is now lying in the prophecy, the problem is going to be that now then the true prophets will not be listened to. The true, like some people have this cold name, they speak out, Rabbanim, Ra, right? All the rabbis are bad. Chas v'shalom. Chas v'shalom. Just because a person got burned from one or two people, or even maybe 5 to 10 people, Baruch Hashem, there's so much Torah. Go find the Torah, Bakesh, you find it. If somebody wants something, the truth will come to him. If he really wants. It says over there in the Gemara that most of the people get what they deserve. If you got a rabbi, that means you deserve a rabbi. If you want a good rabbi, you'll have a good rabbi. Somebody who wants to become a ger by reforms, he goes to ger reforms. If he really wants to become a ger from the true sense of clicking to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Hashem will send him to the Orthodox rabbis. What do you think? It doesn't work like that. Hashem is in charge of the whole world. שהעיקר הגדול אשר בינינו עם הקדוש בפקפק בסיבתם לב כל העם אף בנביא האמת. Now what happens is, so that's why there's a prohibition. There will be a prohibition not to over-test the Navi. Because we know that's the nature of people. We're always going to say, Shakradim, this guy is not alive. What did they do to Yirmiyahu Navi? Constantly. He came, no, Hashem never spoke to you. They found any excuse just to differentiate. Again, how do you have this? You have a nation, tzaddikim, teorim, kedushim, they know so much information. Comes a Navi, it says over there in the Gemara, 1.2 million Naviim came, by the way. Boker v'layla, warning them, and they don't listen. Why? Because they found some pickpocket. They found, according to Torah, some deficiency in his nevuah. We don't have to listen to you. Like today, a rabbi gets up and he gives a drasha. Rabbi, really, bye-bye. The drasha is out of the garbage. That's why the Chachamim are very careful. In the middle of the drasha, nobody's allowed to talk. And show them a drasha. Somebody's giving a drasha, everybody has to be quiet. Not, we have an opinion. Habibi, keep your opinions to yourself. Hear the whole drasha first. And then, if you have an opinion, go to the rabbi privately.
Even you go to drasha.
Huh? There is no knowing drasha. Baruch Hashem, our minds are so eloquent. You could hear word for word for something, and then in the end, he gives you a little spitz that the whole drasha you thought you knew, actually he meant something else. So I've seen it. I've seen it many times. You hear a drasha, you hear it. I know this, but then he gives you a little spitz. The punchline could be from a different angle like this, and you didn't even know it. And you know what? And you find out a new way to learn Gemara. Out of this world. You come to Siyum, B'ezrat Hashem. Many people know the Masechet Tani, but there's going to be punchlines, little punchlines. You're going to say, what? Halas, I didn't know. I never knew that's the way to learn Gemara. Come, you'll see. We're going to enjoy it. Okay. This Sunday, for men and women, everybody's invited. We have 100. We're inviting. There's going to be a barbecue for over 180 people. So come in. Except for the fish, we're still trying to negotiate. So I got a quote. But crazy money. It's almost like $10,000. I'm still short $10,000. And the party's on Sunday.
Party 10,000?
I'm sure 10,000. I have video. I have audio. Music. That's $2,600. Catering is $5,400. That's fish for everybody. 12 salads per person per salad per table. What are you talking about?
Where's it going to be outside?
Here. It's going to be man and the woman and the ticket.
אז כמה עולה כל
בערך $18 יכול להיות. כן? ברוך השם. Anyway, ועובר על זה ונביא בשקר. Now comes a person and gives out a false nevuah. כלומר, שהגיד דברים בשם האל שלא אמר לו האל. He goes out and he says things Hashem never told him. והן המתנבא מה שאמר האל לחברו ולא לו. Or he comes out and even tells the nevuah that never Hashem spoke to him but his friend. Yeah. חייב מיתה ומיתתו היא בחנק. The Beit Din will kill him, give him a warning to go back. If he doesn't stop, he still continues to hold on to his guns. Omrim lo en baya. They find out that he's a liar. They hang him. They strangle him. They don't hang him. They strangle him. Shnimar azay omed hanavi who is. It says over there, and you should kill that prophet. I say just told us over there. I guess in Sanhedrin, 50 page, 52nd Amud Bet, second side. Shkol mitah ha'amura b'Torah stam eno el chenek. As the Torah told us, any murder, the Torah tells us to the Beit Din that we have to kill, it's talking about by strangulation. What do you do with strangulation? Anybody knows?
Yeah.
How do they do it?
They take a string, one this way, one that way. The thin one is going that way, and it pulls it, and the other one, and then he chokes. Or it slices him a little. Well, he chokes.
The rope slices him? No, it kills him.
It doesn't slice him? Okay, just chokes.
Kills, yeah. I thought it was this way, but okay, you're saying front and back? I thought it was side to the side.
Whatever, I don't know.
They want to hold back the windpipe. So they want to hold back the pipe and they choke him. Two witnesses, they have to pull the rope and he dies.
Well, there's a muscle blocking here.
Okay.
So I don't know if that would work.
No matter how you're going to pull it, you're going to die.
No, you need
Here, it's going to die.
This way you would need to rip the muscle to block the airway. But this way...
שלא נודע. Okay, let's go. 518. שלא להתנבאות בשם עבודה זרה. יפה מאוד. רבי יעקב, תזכר מצוות. So now there's a prohibition of giving the wah in the name of עבודה זרה. שלא להתנבא בשם עבודה זרה, כגון שיאמר עבודה זרה פלונית צוותה לעבודה ותבטיח גמו לעובדיה ותפחית מעונש למי שלא יעבדה. Here, there was such a thing that, so there's a thing is like this. A person goes out and he says, we had this Avodah Zarah approach me in the middle of the night, told me that we have to do Avodah Zarah to it, in the middle of a dream, and if we serve it, we will have a reward for serving it. Here, he goes out and he says that. So now, so as we know, there was a lot of times that this happened. What was one time that a Jew, there's a story, famous story that's brought down in the Midrash Chizkiah. He says a Jew came to visit. What's his name? A town. And on Shabbat he was passing by the town, and they told him that there is one Jewish family or not, whatever it was. He stayed in some inn, but he noticed one thing strange: there's no old people in there, no old people in the town. He started asking, "Where's the older people?" So they said, "No, after the age of 60, at the age of 60, the people what they do is they go to a certain mountain. They died over there in that mountain. They jump off and they die in the cliff. Okay, and what happens is after they jump off, they come back. They come back and within 2-3 days they come back. They give out the nachala and then they leave forever. Okay, and that's how we it's all we get blessed and everything. That's how the town survives. So the person he was in actually turned 60 that night. So he sees him going to jump off the cliff. Okay, so the Jew follows him. Decided to follow. What's going on here? Never said such a thing. The guy jumps off the cliff, dies. 2-3 days later, he comes back, the same guy, and he's mitzvah. The whole family was to do, and he leaves. Okay, makara shama. So he decided to go after it. He goes after it. Goes after this person after he leaves. After he gives the tzivui, the nahala, and everything. He leaves, and he goes with him. So the guy says, "You can't come with me. Where I'm going, you're not going." He says, "I want to go anyway. I want to see where you're going. I don't. This miracle. I saw you die. No, come. No, you can't come." He pushes him. No, I'm going. He's walking, coming to the desert. They're walking in the desert. Turns around. The Satan turns to Satan. He says, "I'm going to kill you. What are you doing here? I told you to leave me alone." So he says, "Wait a minute. You told them that you're the old man." He says, "What are you talking about? So you saw somebody come back from the dead? They're dead. They sacrificed them to me themselves. They sacrifice themselves, and I give them a blessing, and this is how they prosper." He said, but it says, but why are you lying to them? He says they're fools anyway. That's what they are, fools. They believe anything. So I tell them that. So it says, so the Satan wanted to kill him, but from Shamayim they said, "I can't kill you." Why? Because you don't talk in the shul. You don't talk in the shul. They told me they didn't give me permission to kill you. Otherwise, I would have killed you. You know,
Wow.
that's
Where's this story from?
Midrash Chizkiah over there. It's beautiful. Yeah, he brings down some stories. But anyway, you see this concept that people are crazy. The Avodah Zarah comes and tells them, "Do something for me," and I'm gonna turn in the end, return you back. And Chas v'Shalom.
At this time, remember, it's not like today we have a little bit more technology.
That's what you think. Today it's more. What do you think the whole Hollywood industry is?
For that, you believe it.
Habibi, the whole Hollywood industry is about Satan. You don't know that? That's what Rashman Litzlan they're doing there. Shem Arhaim Aleinu. Anyway, okay, as it says over there, so how we know that? שכתבו בפרשה, yeah. ואשר ידבר בשם אלוהים אחרים, ומת הנביא ההוא. So again, the same thing over here. It says that if a person comes and does prophecy in the name of a different God, we have to kill that person. זוהי חנק. Over there we also choke him. כמו שכתבתי בסמוך, as we said earlier. שורש מצווה בכל עניין עבודה זרה, ידוע. So obviously, we know the whole purpose over here of those Zarah. What do you mean? You prophesize in the name of Yoshka, you prophesize of something else? What's going on here? Again, we don't want to have any connection to that Chas v'Shalom. Anybody who comes and testifies that this is what happened, that's what they know, Chas v'Shalom, in that instance, we are punishing that person with the mitais. We already explained.
If someone says Mashiach, does that count?
He's Mashiach?
Yeah, is that the
Or
same as prophesizing?
No, I told you already how to tell the guy if he's Mashiach. Please pick up my car with one hand. If you can't pick up your car with my hand, it's not Mashiach. That's it, Chalas. It's already there. Yeah. Anyway, gentlemen, we're going to start right now. We're going to cover Halachot Tisha B'Av. If you want us to stick around. Have a wonderful day.